Hello everyone, this is Mr. Underkoffler, and this is the third part of the guided notes on unit rates. We are at the page that already had the complex fractions that we did at the top, and underneath them we have problems 7, 8, and 9, and that's where we're going to pick it up from. So again, this is the page that had the complex fractions and the unit rates. We've already done those problems 1 through 6. We are now on problem number 7. So take a look at this. Little heading here above it. Pay attention to the directions. Do a conversion if required. I wonder why that's there. Let's read number 7. Tyra walked 2 miles in 45 minutes. At this rate, how far can she walk in 1 hour? Oh, did you see what they just did? The problem gave you the time in minutes, but then they asked for 1 hour, so your initial thought probably would have been, okay, 2 miles over 45 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and divide. Oh, no. Because then that would give you miles per minute. We want to know the miles per hour, how far she can walk in 1 hour. So we're going to have to do a little bit of a conversion here. Hopefully you guys know that every 60 minutes equals 1 hour. Well, this is less than 60, so it's got to be less than 1 hour. How much less, or what exactly is it going to be? What you could do is you could go ahead and divide the 45 minutes you were given by 60, because there's 60 minutes in every hour, and that's going to give you, well, it depends. If you hit your fraction key, it'll reduce it to 3/4. If you hit your division key, which is what you've been in the habit of doing, probably on all these guided notes so far, you would get 0.75. And I apologize that I don't have that typed up here on this page, but that's the same thing. 3/4 of an hour is the same as 0.75 hours. So instead of 2 miles over 45 minutes, you're going to change those 45 minutes to 3/4 of an hour. So now it's 2 miles over 3/4 of an hour. And again, if you wanted to do 0.75 hours, that would be the same. Divide in your calculator, and you're going to get 2 2/3 miles per hour. All right, let's do a problem together. Problem number 8. Blake was able to type 108 words on the computer in 90 seconds. What was his typing rate in words per minute? All right, let's do some underlining here. Do you see how they changed something up here on us? They asked for words per minute, but yet they gave us the time in seconds. So if you thought you were going to write 108 words over 90 seconds, not so fast. We're going to need to change those 90 seconds into whatever it's equal to in minutes. Now, how do we do that? Well, hopefully you know there's 60 seconds in a minute, just like there's 60 minutes in an hour. So what we can do is we can take that knowledge and take the 90 seconds we were given and divide by 60, because every 60 seconds makes 1 minute. That's going to give you 1.5, or you could write that as a mixed number, 1 1/2. I personally don't care which way you write it, but that's the way then you're going to have to write your fraction. So don't even bother writing it in the wrong way, right? Cross out the 90 seconds. Just go ahead and write this down in the correct way. 108 words over, and you can write this as 1.5 minutes or 1.5 minutes. I personally don't care which way you write it. Either way is the same. Now, I hope you also wrote yourself some notes here as to how we got 1.5 minutes if you weren't sure, because that could be helpful. So divide this in your calculator. Go ahead, I'll wait. 108 divided by 1.5 or 1.5. That should give you, did you get it? 72. Now, let's write the units of measure. Words per minute. Oh, here's that diagonal slash that I mentioned the other day. That replaces the word per. So if you want to use the diagonal slash, please, by all means, feel free to. If you'd rather write the word per, fine with me. But either way, 72 words per minute. All right, let's see. Oh, I forgot I had this on the bottom right-hand corner of your page. Time conversions, just in case you didn't know. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day. Use those whenever needed for any problems coming up. Speaking of problems coming up, there's number 9 at the bottom of this page, and there's number 10 at the top of the next page. I would love to see you try them right now on your own, since I already talked you through number 7, and I led you through number 8. So hit pause in the video now and do number 8. Sorry, you already did number 8. Do number 9 and number 10, and then hit play when you're ready to see how you did. All right, did you already do 9 and 10? If not, you really need to hit pause now. Do these on your own. All right, here we go. I'm going to assume you already did them. Did you set this up correctly? It says, at this rate, how far can she travel in 1 hour? So that's what we're looking for here. And 1 hour is the same as saying per hour. So that means we need the unit of time in our denominator when we set up the work as our fraction. However, do not accidentally write it like this. Yes, I know they gave us the time in minutes, but we're going to have to change that into hours. You know what? I feel like we just did this not too long ago. Oh, that's right. Look back at problem number 7. Because number 7 also had 45 minutes, which was 3/4 of an hour. So work smarter, not harder. Use that knowledge to help you here on problem number 9. 36 miles goes on top, divided by 3/4 of an hour. If you have that as 0.75 hours, that's fine with me, means the same thing. Divide, you're going to get 48 miles per hour. You could also write that as MPH because that's a very common, universally used, well, American common used abbreviation for miles per hour. Problem number 10, we're now at the top of the last page. In the game of Tetris, video game fans, Akash can clear 2 rows in 15 seconds. He must be pretty good. At this rate, how many rows can he clear each minute? Okay, do you see what they did again? Minute is what they're asking for. Each minute, but it gave us the time in seconds. So I know that you might have thought initially about doing 2 rows divided by 15 seconds, but that would give you the rows cleared per second. We need the rows cleared per minute. So I need to change 15 seconds to 1 or to a fraction of a minute. How do I do that? Well, do the same thing that we were doing on problem number 8, where we were dividing by 60 to make it turn into minutes. If you take 15 divided by 60, you are going to get 0.25, also known as the fraction of 1/4. I don't care which way you write that. You can write it as 0.25 minutes. You can write it as 1/4 of a minute. And the way I got that is by taking 15 divided by 60 to get 1/4 of a minute. All right, so 2 rows divided by 1/4, and that's going to give you 8 rows per minute. If you were surprised that 2 divided by 1/4 gave you a bigger answer than 2, let me show you a visual reason why. Now, this is not on your guided notes. You do not need to copy this down, but this is going to explain to you why the answer actually ended up being bigger than the 2. The 2 rows was for 1/4 of, and you know what? I apologize. This is a typo. It should not say hour. It should say minutes. So every place that it says hour, pretend that it actually said minutes, because that's what we're talking about here. Forgive me for not catching that typo ahead of time, but you're still going to get the idea from this picture. So 2 rows is 1/4 of an hour, but we need 1 full hour. 4 quarters makes 1 whole. So I need 2, 2, 2, and 2 to get those full 4 quarters for 1 hour, and that's why the answer is 8 rows per minute. And was I saying hours? Oh, I was just saying hours. Forgive me. I meant to say minutes. You're probably yelling at your computer screen as I said that. Silly Underkoffler. All right, so that's why the answer actually gets bigger. All right, moving on. 2 more problems left to go on these guided notes, and they are the challenge problems of the guided notes. I would like for you to try them. You can do these. There's even a hint, little subtitle here, using more than 1 unit rate to solve problems. So spoiler alert, these problems are going to give you just more than just 1 ratio that you're going to have to set up and divide to get a unit rate. It's going to have 2 or possibly even more than 2. And maybe they'll need a conversion, maybe not. You have to read the problems, figure that out on your own. So hit pause now, try 11 and 12 on your own, and then hit play when you're ready to see how you did. All right, I am assuming that you have already done 11 and 12 on your own. If not, you better hit pause now, because here I go. This problem wants to know whose playlist averages more songs per hour. Whoa, that's a little interesting because it told us Abby's was in minutes. Oh, now Joel's is in an hour. Okay, so, 2/3 of an hour. So that one's already in hours. Good. I don't have to do a conversion for Joel's, but I am going to have to do a conversion for Abby's playlist. Now, what do we know? we know that 24 minutes can be divided by 60 because there's 60 minutes in every hour. And if you take 24 divided by 60, you will get 2/5 of an hour. You can also write that as 0.4 of an hour. I don't care which way you do that. So 4 songs in Abby's playlist divided by 2/5 or 0.4, whichever way you want to write it. That's going to be the work for Abby. For Joel's work, and that's right, I would label your work if I were you, 6 songs in 2/3 of an hour. Notice in both of these situations I put hours in the denominator because that'll give me per hour. Whatever is to the right of per is your bottom part of your fraction. All right, divide these in your calculator. 4 divided by 2/5 or 4 divided by 0.4 is going to give you 10 songs per hour for Abby. Joel's, take 6 divided by 2/3. You're going to get 9 songs per hour. What does this problem want us to find? Who has more songs? Do you see what I just did? This is a really good problem-solving strategy. You reread the question before you say you're done to make sure you're actually answering what the question wants you to find. So don't say the answer is Joel. He has less songs per hour. Say the answer is Abby's playlist averages more songs per hour. If you circled 10 songs per hour, that does not actually answer the question. Whose playlist averages more songs per hour? You have to say whose playlist it was, Abby's or Joel's. And here you can see I'm clarifying that it is Abby's. Yes, you have to answer the question, a very important part of solving any kind of math problem. All right, problem number 12. Notice it says multiple answers. That's a hint. The table on the right shows the weight of veggies bought by people at different local produce stores. Which people, that's right, people, not person, because multiple answers, which people paid a unit price that was less than $2 per pound? Show your work to justify your answers. All right, I'm going to separate my work into 4 parts. The work for John, the work for Sal, the work for Kira, and the work for Eva. All right, what order do I write this in? I need, per pound, dollars per pound. So I need to put the dollars on top and the pounds on bottom. So for John's work, that's what it's going to look like. Divide, you'll get about, now notice how I round it to the nearest cent, dollars and cents to the right of the decimal point, about $2.10 per pound. For Sal, I divide $1.95 per pound. Kira averages $1.91 per pound. And Eva, when we divide, we get $2.05 per pound. All right, let's answer the question. Which people paid a unit price that was less than $2 per pound? Less than. That would be Sal and Kira. So let's answer the question. Sal and Kira paid less than $2 per pound. If you need to hit pause to catch up on your work or fix your work or whatever, feel free to do so. That's the beauty of having a video. All right, thanks for watching. That concludes the guided notes on unit rates. We'll see you next time.